Baseball isn't always about power hitting, home runs, or flashy highlights. Sometimes it's about pressure, discipline, and taking advantage of every small mistake. And no team demonstrated that better than the Milwaukee Brewers in their dominant 12-4 win over the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park. Coming into this game, the Brewers were far from full strength, with key hitters like Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, and Christian Yelich all sidelined due to injuries. Many expected Milwaukee to struggle offensively. But instead of relying on star power, the Brewers leaned into something even more dangerous: their identity. This is a team that doesn't wait for opportunities. They create them. From the very beginning, Milwaukee applied relentless pressure. They weren't smashing balls out of the park or hitting deep doubles early in the game. In fact, most of their offense came from singles, 13 of their 16 hits to be exact. But what made the difference was what they did after getting on base. They ran, they forced errors, they stayed aggressive, and most importantly, they capitalized. Pitcher Kyle Harrison, despite only recording 9 outs, understood exactly how difficult it is to face this Brewers lineup. It's not about overpowering pitchers, it's about wearing them down. Every at-bat is a battle, every pitch matters, and slowly but surely, that pressure starts to crack even the most composed defenses. That's exactly what happened to the Tigers. In the second inning, a seemingly routine play turned into a turning point. Rookie shortstop Kevin McGonigal hesitated on a ground ball, allowing a runner to reach base. That single moment of indecision opened the door, and the Brewers didn't just walk through it, they kicked it wide open, turning it into a 3-run rally. This is what makes Milwaukee so dangerous. They don't need big moments, they turn small ones into big ones. Later in the game, another mistake by Detroit proved costly. Reliever Emmanuel De Jesus had a runner picked off at second base, a chance to kill momentum and get out of the inning. But instead, a wild throw into center field turned a routine play into chaos. The Brewers immediately took advantage, adding 2 more unearned runs. At this point, it was clear the Tigers weren't just playing against the Brewers, they were playing against pressure, mistakes, and momentum all at once. And then came the 8th inning, the moment that completely broke the game open. Up until that point, the Brewers hadn't recorded a single extra base hit, but that changed in dramatic fashion when Gary Sánchez stepped up and delivered something completely unexpected: a triple. Yes, a triple from a 33-year-old catcher, marking his first in years. It wasn't just surprising, it was symbolic of everything the Brewers represent. Right after that, Garrett Mitchell followed with another triple, creating a rare back-to-back moment that hadn't been seen in Milwaukee since 2015. Suddenly, what had been a competitive game turned into a blowout. The Brewers scored 7 runs in that 8th inning alone, completely overwhelming the Tigers and putting the game out of reach. One standout performer in this offensive explosion was Brice Turang, who drove in 4 runs and extended his on-base streak to 20 consecutive games. That level of consistency places him among some of the greatest starts in franchise history, alongside legends like Robin Yount and Ryan Braun. But beyond the stats and highlights, what truly defines this Brewers team is their mindset. Manager Pat Murphy described it perfectly: the constant pressure, the unpredictable style, and the ability to score in multiple ways. Whether it's a bunt, an infield single, or a defensive error, Milwaukee finds a way to turn every situation into an opportunity. And that's what makes them so difficult to beat. For the Tigers, this game serves as a tough lesson. In baseball, even the smallest mistakes can snowball into big problems, especially against a team that thrives on capitalizing every inch you give them. For the Brewers, however, this win is a sign of resilience. Despite injuries, despite recent struggles, they are finding their rhythm again, winning 5 of their last 6 games and showing that their formula still works. And perhaps the most exciting part? Help is on the way. Young star Jackson Chourio is expected to return soon, which could add even more firepower to an already dangerous lineup. If the Brewers are this effective without their biggest names, imagine what they could become when fully healthy. As the season continues, one thing is clear: the Milwaukee Brewers are not just surviving, they're evolving. And if they keep playing this brand of relentless, high-pressure baseball, they could once again become one of the most feared teams in the league.